And this is what's in there. Welcome back to the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, folks, and I'm your host, Hiker Lewis, and this is Lone Wolf Scouting Fatwood Adventures, and this is a old growth forest that you're looking at, that I'm showing to you, and I'm going to show you where the entrance is. It has a nice little sign, and this is a beautiful, beautiful, huge, beautiful patch of woods. Okay, folks, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get to the other side where that, where the trail begins with the sign, the beautiful state park, and this is strictly no camping. You can't leave tents out there. They warn you about that. This is just for hiking and enjoying yourself. I'll be right back. I just met somebody, his name is Sam, and he was telling me that this is a road or a path that you could take that goes around the perimeter of this whole park. This is going to be one great video. It's been a while since I made a video, and I just cannot wait to get back out into the woods so I could show you the art of scouting fatwood, finding it, identifying it, processing it, and doing the power of the burn. Beautiful forest, the Windsor forest. I'm in right in the middle of some of it, right in the middle of a dense forest. And look at these incredible trees here, folks. Look at this, all of these trees. And there's a piece right over there that I'm going to harvest a piece from and do the power to burn. We had 2 days of rain, so everything was completely wet. There's no threat of starting a fire here. Okay, folks, stay right with me, and I'm going to set up, and I'm going to show you how to identify the tree and where to cut the wood from off that fallen dead pine tree. Stay right with me. And as you can see, all of this, and of course, this is how you identify to know that this is pine wood, a pine tree, by the bark. There's the bark right there. That's the bark. Okay, so I'm just gonna shave some of this off, all this old dead wood, the one that's rotting, and it's gonna be soil. You can see how beautiful that is. That's definitely gonna be soil one day, folks. Okay, now what I'm doing is just gonna shave some of this off with the saw so I can see exactly what I'm going to be cutting. And you can see how easy this peels right off. And it's going to be soil, like I said. This is all turned back. This has nutrients from the tree when it was alive. Trees has lots of nutrients. And when they die, it dies, and it gives life to other trees all around it and wildlife. Plants as well. Okay, so I'm going to cut down here. You can see that. I'm going to start cutting right down here. I'm going to put my gloves on, protect my hands here. And this is how you do it. This is how you find it. When you find a dead fallen pine tree and you see a branch sticking out, you give it you test it to see how solid it is. Lots of other branches on this tree were just totally rotted out, that you could tap it and it just falls apart. This is solid because I know there's fatwood in here. By my experiences of the trees, and you can see that. Look at that. Definitely, that's fatwood. I know it's kind of hard to see with the sun, but what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the hatchet and I'm going to cut into this, and I'm going to show you how beautiful this wood is. I haven't done a video in a long time, folks, because of health issues. I couldn't really walk as much anymore. So I had to come here, travel with my scooter. Okay folks, here we are. This is a piece of wood that I just cut, and I'm going to show you what's on the inside and how to shave it and get it lit. Okay, so what you do is just, it's very, very wet wood. Get some shavings off this. The bigger the piece of wood, the easier it is to get shavings off. This wood is very wet, but like I said, that wood is waterproof, and you can see that. Here we are. Okay. We have a piece right there. That's it. That cord. There we are. It's really wet, but at least I got it started. And that's the most important thing you want to worry about. If you need to get a fire, to getting it started, no matter how many times it takes to strike. Sometimes there's different situations and circumstances you may find yourself in that you're going to need to have more than one shot trying to get it lit. And there it is. That's the power to burn. That's oak. But look at this tree. Look how big the bark is on this tree. This is amazing. Look how beautiful this tree is. And it goes up all the way. All the way up. Get closer to the bark. Look how beautiful. Look at the color. Look how big this bark is. Look at my hand. To show you how big this bark is, look at the size of it. This is so beautiful. All of these beautiful trees. Welcome back, folks, to the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, and I'm your host, Hiker Lou. And this is the Lone Wolf Scouting Fatwood Haunted Adventures. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the cameras up, and I'm going to show you what I found. Okay, I'm going to just give you an example right now. This is what I found. And as you can see, look how old this is. It just crumbles apart. And this is another way to identify a piece of pine wood, rotted out, but it still has knots. These are the knots, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to set the camera up, and I'm going to show you these are knots. And this is part of the stem of the log that was once alive, but does not have concentrations of fatwood in it. This right here, the knot, along with another knot here. This is another knot right here. I'm going to show you, that's another knot. Then you got this nice monster knot here. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to show you. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you that this has resin in it. Okay, this is the only part of the tree that's after all these years of rotting and decomposing, this is what's left of it. It's still in the process of rotting and decomposing. But this is going to last just about forever because of large concentrations of resin in this wood that preserves it for hundreds of years. So what I'm going to do is set the cameras up. First, the first line of order, identification. You got to learn the art of identifying the tree. First of all, it comes in many stages. You can have a dead standing tree as well as one that's laying down. You can have a live pine tree, and still can extract pieces from the tree if you could reach them if they're not too high. Let me explain something. Now this thing has been laying here for I don't know how long. I would say more than 100 years, maybe 200 years. Where's the rest of the tree? I don't know. But one thing I can tell you, that definitely, there's knots on this, and those knots definitely are preserved because it has the concentrations of resin in the wood. This is my second example of showing you how to identify fatwood, processing it and lighting it. So first line of order, like I said, you got to learn tree identification. You got to learn how to identify fatwood. And I know all the videos I make, it all deals with fatwood, repetitive. People say, hey, you know, it's the same thing over and over. I know, but the process is different because you have that, like I said, tree identification. You want to look at trees, they come in many different ways, different forms, half buried in the ground, a tree standing up, a tree laying down. You just got to know what to look for because it tells a story. And what we're looking at is the skeleton of the tree. The skeleton is the core with the knots that are coming out. I'm also going to demonstrate the power of the burn to show you the potency that's in this wood.